Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today we are in between sew-alongs, so we've got a little bit of a tutorial today. Not a little bit of one, it is a tutorial. So you guys know that I love to go thrifting. It's one of my favorite things to do. I think it's very environmentally friendly. I like the hunt. I mean, selfishly, like I do it because I just enjoy the hunt. I love finding new and different things and then tweaking them to make my own, or sometimes just wearing them as is. It's just really fun, I think, to thrift. Anyway, I went, I don't know, a few weeks ago now, popped in for just a little bit and grabbed, you guys saw the scarves that I grabbed, the silk scarves. I was actually dropping off stuff and then just popped in while I was there and found those scarves, and I also found this top. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm thrifting, and I've talked about this, I did a whole video with my friend Jenny on thrifting last year, I guess. And one of the things that we are doing is not only, you know, looking for actual garments, but it's so packed in there that I'm looking for color first off because my eye can see that quickly. And then fabrics. I'm also going around and touching things to feel for good fabrics. So the color caught my eye immediately. It is a women's 2X top, but I loved not only the color, but it had some neat details on it. And I'm gonna show you, I'll show you footage of me actually in the top when I first bought it. Obviously it is too big for me. I am normally a medium or a large for my bust with ready to wear when it comes to the alphanumeric sizing. So this one was definitely too big and a little bit long, although you're gonna see I didn't take any of the length away when all is said and done to preserve the hem of the top. But, you know, it's not fancy fabric. It is a, well, I've cut the makeup, the fabric content is what I'm trying to say. Good gosh, away when I did oh my gosh, what is wrong with my brain today? When I did the alteration to the top. Okay, anyway, it was a rayon though. I think a rayon, a little bit of cotton, and there may be some nylon in there as well. I don't think there was polyester per se. There may have been though. Anyway, so it's not like it's a very, very nice fabric. It really was just the color. It was in good shape. There were no holes, there was no stains and that kind of thing. I didn't mind the neckline. I thought it kind of, I mean, obviously for the shirt to be worn as intended, the neckline is too big for me, but I thought it could definitely work with, you know, a different kind of style. It's a drop sleeve top, obviously. I wanted to keep it a drop sleeve top because I had very little to work with for the sleeves. Because it's a drop sleeve top, the sleeves were just, you know, little short things, which is just the nature. But the drop sleeve of this top is like halfway down my arm. So I knew I needed to take in quite a bit of length there so that it was a drop shoulder for me. Anyway, I thought that the Maritime t-shirt by Liesl & Co. that I made recently for my Meghan Markle look would be perfect pattern to kind of recreate this. Now, I'm gonna go through and show you exactly what I decided to do, but most of the time with these, I leave the neckline as is, unless it's just like really weird and, you know, it's like a turtleneck and I wanna make it a crew neck or something. Sometimes with men's clothing, I can get away with doing that because I can, you know, I have length to play with as well as width. But anyway, I didn't want to do that with this one. I wanted to leave the neckline as is and then just change basically the side seams and the sleeves. So I'm going to cut really quickly and show you how I did that. Okay, I'm going to show you how I like to resize thrift store finds that are a little too big to just alter. Now this is a drop shoulder sweater, but it is very, I mean, the shoulder seam goes halfway down my arm on this. So obviously it's just too big. It's a women's 2X. I grabbed it because I love the color and I love like the little ribbing details and stuff that are on this, which is just stuff that, you know, you can't find in, you can't make on your own in a sewing pattern. So what I'm going to do first is, get my scissors out. I'm gonna cut my seam allowance, my side seam here. I'm gonna cut up to the arm. Now I may have to fudge my sleeve a little bit. I'm using the Liesl & Co. Maritime t-shirt, and I may have to fudge the sleeve a little bit. Now it is also a drop shoulder look, but this may not be, I don't know, it may not be wide enough. And I'm actually going to keep cutting. I'm going to cut the sleeve open too. Yes, you could re-put the sleeve back in the round, but you may be changing the cap. You probably will be changing your armhole. So you have to have a sleeve with the correct cap, which I'm sure is different than what this originally was. So we'll just make that work. Keep that at the bottom. Okay, and once we've cut up the side seam, we're gonna cut the sleeve off. I'm gonna have to help. I've moved the couch that used to sit next to my cutting table. We did some rearranging in the basement. Now Gidget doesn't have a place to sit, except there is a chair that's over here that is an upholstered seat that she likes to sit in, but she can't jump up on it, and now she's barking at me. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on both sides. So if I look at this pattern piece, you can tell, I mean, this is gonna be like way short than the pattern. Like way short, but you know what? That's okay. It'll be fine. We'll make it work. So, okay, so I'm gonna do that. So I've cut that. I'm gonna leave the shoulders alone. I'm just gonna cut up this other side, so I'll do that real quick and I'll meet you right and put Gidget on the chair and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so once I have both my sleeves cut off, I'm gonna set those aside for a minute. Do those in a second. So now I basically have this like poncho. So this is my back because I've got my tag, and then here's my front. Actually, this is really easy because I have a stripe that goes right down center front and center back, which makes folding this super easy. So I'm just gonna fold this in half like so. So there's center front, and I'm gonna do the same center back. I've got my sew along pattern over here on the far side. Let me make sure I'm not going out of frame either. I think we're good. If I go out a little bit, it shouldn't be a big deal. This always takes up quite a bit of room here, but we want to make sure that that's right in the center. Kind of match up those seam lines, match up your collar, because I'm not going to be touching the collar at all. I want to leave it as is, which makes this even easier. This fabric is just a rayon. Oh, I don't remember. I'll have to look at the tag again. It's nothing fancy. And again, I got this at the thrift store, so I think I paid $2.50 for it. Maybe $3. But again, I just really liked the color. It's an interesting color. Okay, so once we have this done, what we are going to do is we're going to take our pattern, and this is the back, and this is the front. And now, because, I mean, this obviously, this pattern wasn't used for this shirt, so it's, you know, not gonna fit like perfectly. That's okay. Oh, I think we'll just leave the length. Just make it a little longer. That's nice. But what we want to do is mark in. Our seam allowances on this are 1/4 of an inch. And so I'm just going to mark in 1/4 of an inch. Okay, it's basically this second size, so that makes it easier. We don't have to mark it in. So I'm going to overlap them so that their seam allowances are together. Now, obviously, this is a different neckline because, you know, this is coming up more than what our shirt is going to do. But you can put a little piece of tape there if you want, just to kind of hold them together. Just don't press too hard so you can easily take it off. So yeah, keeping in mind that it is a different neckline, we just want to kind of measure This doesn't have to be perfect either. And honestly, I think probably the center of our shoulder is probably more like there. I just want all of our notches. Our hem should be the same. Unfortunately, this does not have a shoulder. It's got like a shoulder yoke. That may be correct though. I don't know. How much is left over here? I want to make sure I've got the same amount. And so you may just want to measure. That's 1 inch. Oh, just a hair. Just a hair. Okay, that's like perfect. Okay, so again, you'll notice this does not line up. That's okay. These were not made from the same pattern. So we'll have a different neckline on our shirt. But I think because it's a wider neckline, just because of the size, I think that that is gonna work out fine. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut all the way to the hem, the bottom of the hem, and just leave that original hem because I think it's cool. And it'll just be a little bit longer top than not a lot though, just like an inch longer than my other Maritime that I made, which was the Meghan Markle look. Okay, so this pattern actually has like a little side slit. I totally omitted that last time. So it's just straight. So I'm just going to cut very carefully through here. And down through here. Okay. So now, ooh. Okay, now we are going to take the scissors, and you can very carefully, this only has a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so just barely want to clip those notches. And really, I'm just clipping them so I know where to put my sleeves, and just to make sure those line up. Okay, and there you go. So now, basically, your neckband has been put in, and your shoulder has been done for you. Here we go. Untake those. So I'm at the point in the sewing process where I just need to stick in the sleeve and then do up the side seams and the sleeve seam. So now I'm gonna set this aside. And we'll grab one of our sleeves here. Now you could try and cut these at the same time. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut one and then lay it over the other one to do the other one. So I'll use the pattern for one, and then, and again, see, these are a little short. Knit is so forgiving, we're not even gonna worry about it. So we're just gonna go whoop and whoop. And then we are going to clip, very gently clip, and clip, and make sure those came through. Nope, they did not come through. Come on. Clip, clip, clip. Okay. So again, knit is so forgiving that this will work. And now I'm going to lay this one, actually, I'm going to lay this one down, like so. then I'll lay this other one. The jersey's wanting to curl. Darn jersey. Lay this on top of it so that I'm matching my ribbing. And that has rolled a little bit. And those do match up better. And I'm doing this around a tripod. Okay. So again, these are going to be, I mean, quite a bit shorter. They're going to end, I don't know, like 4 inches shorter. Although the seam allowance has been taken out. So about 3 inches shorter than the sleeves that I made for the Meghan Markle one. I think that's okay. Then you have to find okay. And there you have it. So now I'll just reattach my sleeves, zip up the side seams and the inside of the sleeve, and yeah, we'll be done. Easy peasy. Okay. So there you have it. It's a very, very easy alteration to do. Refashion. That was the word I was trying to think of earlier. The word refashion. I need to get to bed earlier tonight. Anyway, I'm very pleased with my shirt. It may be a little bit longer than I typically wear, but I think it actually would look really good over leggings or a skinny jeans if you wanted to do it that way. I kind of have it over a wider leg jean today as I'm filming, but I think probably typically I'll put it over a skinnier leg. I think that could be cute. I think it'd be really cute over white jeans in the springtime as we move into the warmer months. This is kind of one of my colors that can go, I mean, it's an autumn color, but you can kind of dress it springier. I love this color with red. I think that's a lot of fun, like the warm red. I also really love it with navy and with teal, like a teal or a, yeah, like that blue-green. I think it looks really good with that too, where you can kind of push it into the spring a little bit. But anyway, that is how I do my refashions. It kind of changes per projects, but I know I've had a lot of requests about seeing that. Oh, and when I did, because I wanted to leave, you know, there's this definite like textured sleeve, and I wanted to leave the hem as is. What I do, I did everything on the serger. I did not even use a sewing machine. So I serged all the way to the end, and then I tie off my tail in a knot and pull it really tight, and then I just feed the tail back through the stitching with a darning needle, and that's it. That's what I did on the sleeve hems and also on the hem at the top to keep, so I could keep that original hem. And it works great. And I get a lot of questions about, do you have issues with things unraveling or raveling? And no, I don't. I don't. Usually the stuff that's been knitted by machine doesn't ravel easily. So you can usually, you know, be able to get it through the serger before it's done any of that. And then a little steam will put anything where it's kind of pulled out of shape or wavy, a little steam will bring that right back to where it needs to go. And then you're good to go and you've got a wearable top. So I will put a photo now of, or video of me now in my finished top. Yeah, I'm very, very pleased. I think this is gonna get quite a bit of wear, and it is definitely an easy way to extend some of the life of some thrifted items. And I think just have a lot of fun. And especially when you find an interesting color like this, you know, something that you don't see a lot of. I think it's a great way to be able, and it's, you know, one of my colors, so it's not one that you come across very often. I think that's a lot of fun to be able to extend the life of that garment as well. So there you have it, guys. There is my refashion from my thrifted top to, yeah, to a top now that I will wear quite frequently as the weather warms, when it warms. It will warm sometime. It's very cold right now when I'm filming this. In fact, I'm not gonna wear this the rest of the day because it's too cold, but that's okay. warmer weather will come. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this refashioning tutorial. I will be back next week for part 1 of the Vogue 8772 sew along, which is the blouse. Now I'm doing things a little different this time. Normally I do like my first video of a sew along is fitting and doing a muslin and that kind of stuff, which is not typically how I sew. I typically don't do just muslins for the sake of muslins. I mean, I do it for some things, but for the most part, I go the wearable muslin route. I just find it a little less wasteful, and I just know my body well enough now that I can do a lot of my pattern alterations on the fly. Yeah, I know the way I fit into the big 4 patterns, adjustments I need to make, and then I do measure my flat patterns and make adjustments that way as well. So I'll be talking you through that, or I talked you through that on Friday on how I did the fitting for this pattern with top 1 of the 1 pattern 3 ways. And then on Sunday, we'll actually start, you know, we'll cut out and everything, the silk version, which we're gonna be doing the bow on the front for that version. I think it's version B. I think it's view B on that. But yeah, we'll be talking a lot about sewing with silk crepe de chine, which is a slipperier fabric, and some tips and tricks for that. So yeah, that will be on Sunday, and you're actually gonna see that top though, because it's top number 2 of my 1 pattern 3 ways on Friday, and so which is kind of different for you to see the finished garment before we actually start the sew along. But yeah, thought that might be kind of fun and a little bit different, mix it up a little bit. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys again on Tuesday. Bye.